Hey, what's good, everyone? Twisted here with the Open Sorcery, and today I want to go ahead and share some YouTube channel recommendations. So, of course, there's many channels out there in the YouTube sphere, and of course, other video hosting sites that talk about different subject matter of a metaphysical, magical, spiritual, occult, esoteric nature, what have you, or anything, possibly related and all of that. But, honestly, there's quite a few that are popular nowadays that, are what people usually talk about or share when they think of the subject, what gets the most search results, all of that. And truth be told, with this, I want to go ahead and share some channels that I have found not only just enjoyment in, but also have found them to be very helpful or informational that, hasn't really been talked about, at least within the sphere of those that I usually communicate with, those that, I interact with and we exchange, like, oh, hey, look, check this person out, or check this resource out, what have you. And pretty much just like, they may even have a popular following, but they just don't necessarily pop up either as like promoted or talked about online and or like come across to me recommendations often. So, I'm just going to keep it limited to 5. This is like the second time with the Open Sorcery that there's been some sort of recommendations given out. The first one was for books. So that was about 10. Which was me presenting 5, Devi presenting 5 herself. And this time, since I'm the one who's doing this, because truth be told, I asked Devi if she wanted to be a part. She said, well, pretty much the channels that, you happen to follow are the ones I happen to follow quite a bit. So, and those are more so along the lines like the popular ones. At least within our sphere of, like, who we happen to share and talk about, as, like, inspirational contemporaries, what have you, or contemporaries that we draw inspiration from, or see what, the zeitgeist is within the spiritual community and such. But yes, so, in that sense, I will go ahead and start off with the first one I have on my list here, and that is Altrusian Grace Media. Now, they're a channel who happens to provide self-narrated audiobooks and audio lectures for mostly older, out of copyright material in the spiritual, sphere of things. So, for example, that would include Max Heimdall's The Rosicrucian Christianity lectures, and having a recording for each one of those from that compilatory work. That would include different Gnostic texts and poems and writings from the Dead Sea Scrolls or Nag Hammadi Library. That would include different alchemical works as well, and so on. And I find it, very useful when wanting to listen to someone go ahead and narrate it, and then having the digital reading itself in front of me, so I can go ahead and both listen to and read it at the same time. So, Altrusian Grace Media. And also, I will go ahead and state that alongside this, all the recommendations will have links, of course, to said channels themselves in the descriptions. So yes, that is number 1, Altrusian Grace Media. The second recommendation I'll be going ahead and giving out is Knowledge is Power, Gary Light. Now, this channel has had some videos go viral and all that sort of thing based on, like, what the most popular videos are, the handful, and average view count, and all of that. But I honestly don't hear people talking about it as, like, a individual, as a persona, what have you. And I think that in of itself is by design, or of, how the videos are made, because there are video essays, on various and numerous spiritual and metaphysical topics. And Gary Light himself doesn't really put himself out there as a persona, as a figurehead, as a front person to go ahead and share. Like, they're not putting themselves on camera, nor are they, really explicitly saying, "Hi, I'm Gary Light," or anything like that, which is perfectly fine by me. Wonderful. Go ahead and do that. Put the information first. I definitely am fond of that, because sometimes a lot of people happen to put themselves before the actual information and material first, and be like, "Hey, I'm a personality. Hey, I'm this notable person. Let me shine," as opposed to what is supposed to be shared and what is supposed to help other people expand their own manner of thinking. That's not to say that you can't be a persona and go ahead and, share yourself and who you are, but, I am by no means, I have no issues with the withdrawn approach. But that's just me going on a bit of a tangent and a little bit of a detour with that. But yes, once again, knowledge is power. Gary Light, that channel right there, I definitely recommend it. It has some very good video essays and informational pieces. Let's see. Also, there is Epiphany Lectures. And what this channel is, they honestly have not posted in quite a few years, but the collection and trove of information that they already have, I think it's very useful. And, you can go ahead and learn quite a bit and or share with those who are not necessarily as learned about spiritual subject matter, and they can definitely benefit from it, to start off with. And the host does video lectures, educating viewers on different magical concepts, and they have information pre-drawn or pre-written on white canvas paper, and they have, the diagrams, the lists of terms, and all of that sort of thing, and, pretty much just uses that as a visual guide or reference while going ahead and talking about it. Whatever it is he's trying to present. And something that I do appreciate that Epiphany Lectures happens to do is that they happen to make tie-ins to pop culture things, right? Different films and movies that are of the zeitgeist, and help to, if you have not come across the magical concepts prior to watching these films, but have seen the films or the material themselves, that can help bridge the gap and help you more so to understand and comprehend what they are trying to get across, what have you, and try to open that sort of window, and mentally speaking. But yes, once again, Epiphany Lectures is another one that I recommend. Next, we have Amateur Magus, and as presented on their channel, the first name they go by is Dave. So pretty much, Dave happens to tackle various magical topics and subjects pertaining to the Western School of Magical Thought. So, for example, one of their popular videos is talking about the Opera Melon ritual and rite, which, for those who are not aware, is a rather intensive, several month long to potentially year and a half long process of, cleansing, of purifying, of working through your own shit to try to attain what is called knowledge and conversation with the Holy Guardian Angel, which is, just to put it out there, is like going ahead and talking to the higher self, if you want to go ahead and use more so new agey terminology, and all of that sort of thing, But all in all, Amateur Magus, other concepts that they talk about and discuss I think that, as the title goes ahead and states, while they themselves are not necessarily amateurs, or I myself would not consider them amateurs, they can go ahead and help explain things for those who are just starting out. And I think that, the amateur title is just more so for the fact that their presentation and how they are, their demeanor is a bit more raw and rugged. And, their personality is a little bit more so sarcastic and snarky and all that sort of thing. It's not as, fluffy, or it's not as clean or polished as many other presenters are out there. But yes, Amateur Magus. I definitely recommend them right there. And then the last one I have on this list is less of a personality, at least of the content, the videos that I've come across on the channel thus far. And this is kind of like more so of a newer channel that I've come across, but it in essence kind of takes the place of one that, was lost a while ago in terms of all the material they had on there, that I was more so privy to. But this channel is Alchemist Empress. So it's less of them going ahead and, the person uploading being the center point, and they're more so of a compilatory clips channel for different other various individuals. And it's pretty much just a clips channel for various Black and African American occultists and magicians. So, for example, it has different little bits and bytes from Bobby Hemmett, from Dr. Phil Valentine, to Brother Yosef, and various other people within that sphere of things, within that realm of spirituality, what have you. And I definitely enjoy that quite a bit, just more so shorter form content with, focusing on a singular subject that will, whatever the presenter happens to be talking about and what they have found is useful in wanting to, magnify and put out there as a clip. So, once again, Alchemist Empress. And there we have it. So, those are the recommendations that I'm wanting to go ahead and share with y'all and what have you. I'll run through the list once again. Altruzi and Grace Media, Knowledge is Power Gary Light, Epiphany Lectures, Amateur Magus, and Alchemist Empress. At the time of recording, these channels, their materials all up, what have you. And I will have these links in the description of the video so you can go very quickly, check it out yourself, subscribe, go watch videos, put it in your playlist, watch it later, whatever the case may be. But alas, that's pretty much it. And yes, this has been Twisted with the Open Sorcery, and stay frosty, Neguses. Peace.